Hey guys, it's Alex from Alpha Comics and Games. I am interrupting your regularly scheduled Quid Pro Roll episode to let you know that not only do we have a Patreon at patreon.com/goblinsgrowlers, where you can get access to some really cool additional Quid Pro Roll content, but we also have Quid Pro Roll content available now at Alpha Comics and Games in Willow Lawn. If you ever want to check us out, we'd love to see ya. And now, on to the episode and all. Thank you guys so much for listening. Do you all remember, by all I mean specifically Johannes and Boat, remember being at I was about to say the airport lounge.
Sure.
That is not where you are. You're at the hotel bar.
The Boris Empire is a very technologically advanced civilization.
I do remember being at the airport lounge.
No, Alon, we're talking about in the game.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and I said, so come and dance with me, Michael.
Yeah, and we did killers jokes for like an unbroken 5 minutes.
It's Franz Ferdinand, unless I'm crazy.
Franz Ferdinand showed up, dropped 3 songs, and then was never heard from again.
Mm-hmm.
They were kidnapped to the same place that they took the Scissor Sisters.
Their single did hit. I think that album came out at the exact same time as the Killers album. And I vaguely remember, I don't know if y'all did too, people taking sides. You could only like one of them.
I remember them coming out at the same time.
That was not the case in my friend group. Everybody was listening to both of them when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't remember a Sharks versus the Jets situation.
Dude, I was on the Sharks, man. And I was sitting there, being like, so come at me and take me out, bro,
when the Franz Ferdinand album came out, I was working at a newspaper in Indiana, and there was this guy who was a lot younger than me, which is saying a lot because I was 22 at the time, and he was working on the sports desk, and he was so excited about this album because he thought of himself as some post-punk kind of academician. He spent all kinds of time excitedly explaining to me how Franz Ferdinand was a reference to the start of World War One.
Hell yeah.
Thank God someone explained it.
Yeah, and you were like, hey man.
That's really obscure trivia that nobody knows.
Yeah.
You're like, hey man, this information, this fire right here, it's out of control.
I don't know if you know this, but World War I and World War II are the least studied wars in the history of the world.
I don't understand the reference.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Well, howdy, listeners. Welcome to the Daily Crier Listening Show, where all the news and Varian and beyond can make its way, right to you. With Alyssa captured and her documents being put to good use, let us mosey on over to the misadventures of the rest of the party. In case you don't remember, listener, Johannes, Alita, and Gravy Boat had infiltrated the wealthier side of town in hopes of finding and possibly stopping a mysterious ambassador known to be staying at a hotel around there. Johannes cleverly used his blessing of Soon to identify the correct building, a palatial hotel of considerable decadence, and Charles used his disguise skills to once again don the guise of the world-renowned detective, Jazz Tamer. Well, now if that doesn't just spirit your horses, I can hardly believe Detective Tamarind is so conveniently in the Boris Empire. With Jazz on the case, I'm certain they'll get right to the bottom of things promptly. Kinda reminds me of my time dodging the frustratingly competent Detective Montoya back in my university days. I'll save that story for another time, though. Let's listen in. And as always, y'all take care now.
Boat?
Well,
So you see what I'm seeing?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Come on here?
Yes, the one coming down the stairs.
Well, uh-huh. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. What do we do?
What kind of hat was Boat wearing?
At this point, I'm just sort of imagining the hat Boat wears
'Cause
is like that one gag from Scary Movie 3 where every shot it cuts back to she's wearing a different hat with an expanding brim, except every shot it cuts back to Boat, he's wearing a different hat.
I like the idea that what hat does Boat wear is like a children's book that teaches kids how to read and learn about all the different types of hats. And then, it has like certain hats where it's like, don't wear that fedora, kid. Boat's wearing it in an ironic way.
Hello, children. Remember, Mercury shouldn't go in hats.
Mm-hmm. Only in retrograde.
Because I was going to say, if I recall correctly, listeners, I apologize if this is incorrect, but Boat bought just some stuff before coming in here to sort of disguise himself to, do the Jazz Tamarin thing. So I imagine he's wearing some dark glasses, maybe wearing a pea cap or something.
He's wearing a wide-brimmed, actual fedora, not a trilby. He's wearing a tan overcoat that's, folded over and tied. He's wearing, sunglasses, and he has an oversized newspaper.
He's like Ben Grimm when he goes around the streets of New York.
Yes.
Wearing his trench coat.
He's like a tech bro fleeing San Francisco and going to Joshua's tree.
Josh, you have a tree?
Hey, get away from my tree.
Mm-hmm. Go get those tech bros, Josh.
Yeah. So a Boat pulls the hat down just a little bit as he stops eating the pastries and tries to swallow them and stuff while he's observing what's happening here.
There's a cartoonishly large lump in his throat that goes down like a Looney Tune who has just consumed an entire 70-layer sandwich.
There's also a comically anime sweat drop on his head.
What do we do?
I think we just sit here for a minute.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I have Danishes in my mouth.
Oh, that is what Danish people sound like. I lived there, I know.
And I spelled mouth with 2 O's and an umlaut when I said it. In my mouth.
So, Johannes, what are you doing?
Oh, I haven't noticed it. I could roll to notice. Should I roll to notice?
I like that the idea that, Alita and Boat are, critically concerned and are like, oh no, we're in danger. Whereas Johannes is eating, his fruit skewers without a care in the world.
None. I live a very carefree life, Alita. Let me tell you. But that's as much as I need to tell you for now. Because right now, I'm going to continue eating this fruit.
Just you don't notice anything.
I don't know. Well, if there's one thing I noticed, is that fruit, pretty good.
So, Boat, what are you going to do?
Boat is filled with anxiety right now for all the reasons someone's filled with anxiety when they're realizing that their decisions in the past are coming to confront them now. So
your decisions in the past are currently reading through some papers and appear to be on their way to leaving the hotel.
Okay. Oh, he swallows the rest of the cheese danishes that were in his mouth. He gets up, taps Alita and Johannes on the shoulder. He's like, let's follow discreetly.
Johannes takes the fruit was all being served in a hollowed out half of a pineapple. And Johannes takes a spoon and he carves out eye holes and a mouth hole, and he puts it on as a mask.
That is a cursed image.
Yeah, somebody stop him.
He's looking at you through his pineapple
Imagine
mask.
Pineapple juice around your eyes.
And he's like, discreetly.
Pineapple juice digests you, right?
Help, I'm being digested.
All right, your face is going to burn.
More like a pain apple.
Get him, Bo.
The three of you get up and begin slipping as quietly as you can after Michael. You're keeping a decent distance away, so I will allow you advantage, but you will need to roll stealth.
Okay.
Stealth! Oh, I'm so stealthy. Let me rephrase that. Stealth!
You're going to travel down the crowded streets, following Michael. It appears after a while that he's resolved whatever it is he's trying to figure out from these papers, rolls them up and puts them in a satchel that's sitting at his hip. He continues to walk for about 10-15 minutes of following, and you're going to see him come up to a character that seems mildly familiar to you. You vaguely remember him from the party. He was a gnomish He was a gnomish man that was traveling with Emberlyn during the Great Masquerade debacle.
Perhaps it's not good that I'm dressed as Jazz Tamarind.
Says Jazz Tamarind, jotting it down in his notebook.
Too bad I don't have my rat costume.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and get closer so you can hear their interaction? Or are you going to keep your distance and stay safe?
Well, hang on. Let's figure it out. What's the environment?
You're on a street that's got a couple of people moving around in it, but it's not so crowded that you could get close without some kind of sneak attempt. Because when you walk down a major city street and there's like 15-20 people around, and like it's busy, but it's not so crowded that you can't pick out everybody around you.
Are they like standing in front of a store or anything?
I mean, they're on a sidewalk in front of several businesses.
Okay. What are the businesses?
The businesses are going to be some pretty basic stores and different municipal things. Like there's going to be a post office, there's going to be a bank, there's going to be a clothier, there's going to be what appears to be some kind of ceramic store, and a hat maker.
Okay. Anything else, like any food trucks or anything like that in the area?
There are no food trucks, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you will have to get your SpongeBob Gumball Eyes ice cream somewhere else.
I think I'm going to casually walk toward the clothier with the intent of going in, but see if I can hear anything as I walk in.
As you walk by, you're going to be able to catch a snippet of conversation, which starts with the gnome being slightly annoyed at the timeliness of Michael.
You were supposed to be here 15 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, did you have somewhere else to be?
I have lots of places to be pretty much all the time. With everything happening as it is right now, yeah, I'm kind of busy. So if we could go ahead, get this taken care of.
All right. Is the kobold ready?
As ready as they'll ever be.
That doesn't answer my question, truly.
I don't know what to tell you. If you want full preparedness, you probably should not be relying on me to begin with.
I'm relying on you, as is Emberlyn.
Yes, and I've done everything I'm capable of doing to prepare them for the situation.
Our mistake to trust this with you, then.
No, that's not reasonable. I can only do so much.
If I recall correctly, you were the one who insisted on this.
Because it's necessary.
Sure. Do you know if the potential obstacles are going to be around?
I mean, I haven't seen them, but I don't know. Like, they have a nasty habit of popping up in places where you don't expect them. I don't think they're here, but you know how that goes. Just be ready.
So they're here.
What do you want from me?
Competence?
You have competence. I've done my part.
Level with me. Do you think this is going to work?
It's the best chance we have of any of it.
Yasmin, can I ask you a legitimate question?
No, I only take illegitimate questions.
Was that a dig? Was that a dig at me?
Sick burn.
No. Do you have something to be very sensitive about right now?
I'm not sensitive. I just am not used to you trying to make digs at me.
As Boat walks by, apparently very slowly, listening to this, he hears that, and he's just like, "Aw," and now he feels bad.
You're giving me a look like I'm supposed to know something, like I've hurt your feelings in some way.
I assure you, you haven't hurt my feelings. It is at the point that Michael opens his mouth to continue the question he was asking Gazwin that, Boat, you're kind of forced to walk into the shop.
Okay, that's fair.
You just, oh no, all my Danishes.
They're really starting to sit pretty heavy after that walk. So I'm in the clothier now.
Yes, you are now.
Okay. Describe the interior of the clothier to me.
Since you're in a pretty wealthy part of the district, the clothier is the air is perfumed in a way that makes it sit really heavy and feel kind of stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
The clothes are a series of embroidered rich fabrics. You've got things like velvet and jacquard and all of this stuff that is just very expensive looking. You can see hanging from the ceiling a series of different accessories, often things like drapes made of fur, or those little fur tubes that you put your hands in.
A muff.
Yes, that.
Alex is like, drapes with the fur. Put your hands in the tubes with the fur.
You have scarves. You're also going to see a couple of things like brooches, like not a lot of fine jewelry, but definitely a little bit of sparkle.
Is there a shopkeep?
There is, but they are currently busy with another customer. They appear to be measuring them.
I am going to take a look at some fabrics and maybe kind of position myself so I'm looking out the front window as I'm looking at the fabrics and try to read their lips as they continue talking.
All right, what does one roll for lip reading?
I think perception.
I'm going to say very unlikely that you get both of their lips, right? Because if they're both on a half angle, then it would be harder to read. If one's looking directly at you, easier to read, but one of them you can't see their lips at all.
That just means it's more challenging for Alex to figure out how to decode what they're saying.
Yes, difficult for me.
Yes.
But Alon is correct. You'll really only be able to read one person's lips.
All right, well, I'll read Michael's lips then.
You're not going to be able to pick up a lot of what they're saying, but you are going to be able to pick up the words Black Dragon, Ritual, and Soon.
Soon like S-O-O-N or S-U-N-E?
S-O-O-N.
Okay.
Also, audience members, I am aware that Suna or Sune is how most people say it. We are 6 years deep into this show. We are not changing it now.
I mean, the lip shape is the same.
Josh, I know that. I was trying to see if I could quickly slip it under the door and Alex answer the question.
I love more so Alex being like, hey, people who've been with us for 6 years.
Yeah.
I get it. You're fed up.
Stop emailing me about the value of treasury bonds in Variant.
It didn't change then and it ain't gonna change now. The value is high.
Honestly,
Market
I get more crap for the economy from the audience than I think I do from y'all. And it's honestly like, look, if there's something I'm going to screw up really badly, I'm not a politician. I don't care how the actual economy works.
Neither do politicians, Alex.
Watch Campaign 2 operate almost exclusively on barter systems.
You're going to be able to read not everything, but you're going to be able to pick up Black Dragon, Ritual, and Soon. Soon, S-O-O-N.
Okay. I regret asking for that clarification now.
It'd be really funny if you could tell that somebody asked Michael, wait, which Soon? And he's like,
Yeah, Gazwin's like, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page about this.
I like that Brandon's Gazwin impression sounds like a half-assed Gilbert Gottfried impression.
Hi, I just want to make sure we're on the same page about this. I would like to buy something while I'm in here. Is there anything off the rack that might fit me?
Is there anything off the rack in this incredibly fine clothing store? I would be more concerned about what would be affordable.
Well, let's ask about the price. Let's do what you do in a fine shop, in an upscale shop, and ask how much things cost.
Yeah, that goes great. So after a point, the tailor is going to come up to you. You can see that they are holding a tape measure, jotting down notes, and they have a pin cushion attached to their wrist on a little wristband. They're gonna walk over to you really quickly, put what appears to be a pencil into their hair and go, yes, sir, may I help you?
Hello, friend. Yes, I'm interested in a long coat.
Oh, yes, sir. Give me one moment. If you'd step over here, I can begin measuring you.
Absolutely.
He's going to measure around your arms. He's going to measure around your waist, your shoulders. While he's doing this, Johannes, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm still outside the store. Do I recognize? No. I don't know who these people are. I'm wearing a pineapple on my face, and and I'm trying to get a glimpse of people's feet so I know what time it is, and I'm watching a bunch of attack kites continue to help this old man around the corner. I turn to Alita, I'm like, hey Leah, why did we leave the hotel? What's our plan right now?
Alita's going to crouch down and put her hands on Johannes's shoulders, kind of like he's a child.
Also crouch. I do too.
She's gonna continue hunching over so she can continue having her hands on your shoulders. She's gonna lean in and she's gonna whisper, Johannes, that guy over there, that's the person we're supposed to be following. That's that blue dragon priest that's been working with Emberlyn.
That guy over there who looks fairly unassuming, but also somewhat like Boat for some reason?
Yes, the one that looks somewhat unassuming, but also kind of like Boat.
Wow.
I mean, never mind. That is who we are following, and we are trying to stay out of sight.
Okay. Well, Boat just went into that store.
He did. Probably because he was trying to listen in and eventually ran out of time before it looked really weird.
He was walking so slowly.
Yeah, watching him pick up the 37 coins he dropped out of his leotard. I don't even know where he was keeping them.
He's been telling me that he's been working on an attack called Pocket Change, where he just throws coins.
Yeah, he has been. I remember around camp when he would just throw coins at me.
Yeah, he was saying that it's illegal in the ring, but he's always wanted to try it.
Yeah, he kept saying money, 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 money everywhere.
He said, I heard him scream, make it hail, and then he just threw a fistful of change.
Well, we're on the same page. Alita, what do you think we can do? What's the best thing for us to do to be able to help out Boat?
To be perfectly honest, I think the best thing for us to do is... And as she begins saying that, a shadow is cast over the two of you, as two figures stand looming over the both of you.
Excuse us, you're standing in the sun, and I'm a pineapple, and I can't go without appropriate light.
Yes, no, I'm actually very interested in what your plan is.
Okay, good. But could you step about 12 paces that way? So that the sunlight can get through.
Gaswin and Michael look at each other, and Michael steps like 1 foot to the side.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
He takes like a half step.
Maybe one more, I think, would be enough.
Johannes, I think we're actually in a great deal of trouble right now.
Well, give 1 second. I just need enough sun so that I can photosynthesize. That way we can talk about our plan.
I could give you a significant amount of light very quickly.
Okay.
And then Johannes reaches into his pocket and he throws change at them and grabs Alita by the wrist and starts running. He goes, pocket change! Come on, Alita!
Make it hail. Can I get a hail? Yeah.
Okay, so roll improvised weapon attack.
How many pieces of change did he throw?
What will
How big are Johannes's fists?
Not big. What's a natural 20 gonna give me?
Oh my god.
You crit damaged on this attack?
I like it just flicks a penny and it hits one of them right in the middle of the eyes.
Right in the
So
eye.
that's 4, 5, 6, 7. They take 14 damage?
Ah, my face and also my eyes.
All right, so they take a frankly obscene amount of damage from that attack, and the two of you book it down the street.
I think Gaswin is stun locked for a moment on account of getting hit in the face and also the eyes.
Michael is going to go after the two of them. Boat, it's going to be about a couple of minutes, and you're going to come out after getting measured and being given a ticket for when you can come pick up your coat.
Okay.
You see the gnome covering his eyes, and you see the swish of robes, and you hear the jingle jangle of Johannes's running down the street.
Also, he's got more money in his pocket. He didn't even throw all of it.
No, I always keep some on hand.
You also see a lot of coins by Gaswin's feet. And you're going to notice, and this is another effect I'm going to give this spell, if you use it in populated places, it will give difficult terrain to your opponents because all of the people are going to run to try and pick up the money.
Yeah, I think
Damn it,
at this point, Gaswin is like trying to give chase, but keeps bumping into people who are coming over to gather money. And he's like, get out of my way! I've got to give chase!
Yeah. Boat sees Gaswin trying to give chase, but stumbling because of his face and eyes, and walks and stops, like walks up and tries to stop him. He's like, is everything okay? Did that guy steal your wallet? What do you have to give chase for?
Hey, you're one of them!
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm so glad you stopped by. And Gaswin's hands start to crackle with electricity.
What the hell are you talking about? Maybe I could cast Earth Tremor.
That might actually work reasonably well here.
Yeah, my hands are crackling with earth.
I'll roll dex save for all of the innocent people.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a... What'd you get?
The innocent people all fall down.
Well, I rolled a 7.
Man, this sounds like
so
the
I don't-
start of like the worst children's like the innocent people all fall down and they get electrocuted
What'd you roll, Josh?
by
I rolled a 7. I think Gaswin has positive dex, but he doesn't have that positive dex.
Yeah, it was a 14.
And doesn't he get knocked prone by that as well if he fails to save?
Indeed he does. So he's now wallowing in change.
Alex, did several of the citizenry also fail?
They did.
And Gaswin is short, so people falling on top of him is likely.
All right, so
Okay.
that's going to buy you some time to give chase, Brandino.
And just one more point of order. What was the ground like here? Is it like cobblestone?
Yeah.
So if the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared. So would we call cobblestone?
Yeah,
Loose
it would
stone.
become difficult. I mean, it's already difficult
Yeah.
terrain because of all the people.
Yeah, all right. So Boat's like, yoink, and he's heading out.
All right, you're going to give chase after the group.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's been 6 years, but Brandon has finally used Earth Tremor in a way that worked and did not almost kill a party member.
But let's keep in mind, I did do it in a populated urban area full of people.
Most of them on top of Gaswin, cushioning their falls.
That's what has so many broken bones.
Now, if only I'd had Reduce and Large, I could have made Gaswin even smaller.
So, you're going to run at full dash speed. You're going to be trying very hard to catch up to the group. You're going to be able to see just enough of them to see where they're going before you notice Alita and Johannes have run into a dead end.
Alita, I was never really good with directions, and I'm going to be honest, and I know this is going to be surprising, wearing a pineapple mask that limits my peripheral vision was not helpful in this situation.
It's okay, Johannes. I sort of assumed that something was going to cause problems. She's going to turn. I'm not sure there's a way for us to get out of this one without violence.
Well, in that case, Johannes takes out his shields.
Alita's gonna pull out her mace, and Michael's gonna take a minute going, whew. Well, that was fun. Anyway. And that is going to, after a moment of Michael sort of pulling out his, pulling his hands up, pulling up his hands, and they begin crackling with similar electricity to what Gazwin has. Boat is going to arrive on the scene.
Has he noticed me yet?
Yes, he's kind of blocked off because it appears to you that he was expecting you. The way his body is blocked off is he's prepped for somebody to come in through the bottleneck.
But am I in his line? Does he just know somebody's coming, or has he seen me?
He knows someone's coming and also has a lightning zappy hand.
Yeah.
Prepped and ready to go.
Yeah.
I was just checking my notes just so everybody knows, because we were about to get into combat and I wanted to know what we had. And I have a note in here that says Perp Burglar the Cheetah.
Yeah, that's your pseudonym for this particular leg of the adventure.
What?
Your favorite,
awesome.
your
That's like
favorite
the
color
Hamburglar's familiar.
Your favorite color, your favorite food, and an animal.
Oh, Perp Burglar the Cheetah. Black bean sweet potato burger. Okay, sorry, that's all I wanted to know.
Do I have time to cast a quick disguise self on self?
I don't like my criminal name.
Yeah, continue, Alex.
What was that, Brandon?
I have time
Brandon, I'm putting you on pause. Alex, what's your criminal name?
We can continue on. So you're going to come in. Alita is going to have her mace ready. Johannes is going to be strapping his shields on, ready to go. You're going to see Michael is turned partially to them and partially towards to where you're coming in. His hands are alight with blue crackling electricity. You're going to come kind of sliding in about 15 feet away from them, just at the tail end of your final dash. And you're going to see them prepped and ready, but they're both at the prepped and ready standoff where they're not sure who is attacking first and if there is a way to get out of this without combat.
And I will add to that you hear from the direction you were running the distinctive sound of a thunderclap.
What if I just keep running? Like
You're gonna
I
run past him and into the wall?
No, I just football charge Michael. Like I do the spear on him.
Okay, you're gonna have to roll unarmed attack, I guess.
I rolled an 18.
You are going to be able to make contact with him.
Okay. It's the fatherly hug he's wanted all these years.
So you're going to run at him and jump, doing what I consider a glomp and you call a spear.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to take him down, but surprisingly, he's going to heave you kind of aside using the momentum, rolling to the other side and then rolling back up.
He's using a combination of mage, judo, and aikido, apparently.
Apparently! You're not knocked over. You're able to get back to your feet very quickly, but you have now found yourself with your back facing the wall, where Alita and Johannes are, and your front facing Michael. And Michael is starting to get his hair kind of standing up on end because he's being a real spicy electric boy right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, bud. Glad good to see a face that's friendly. This guy over here, he's spicy and electric and a boy right now.
Thank you for that input, Johannes.
Yeah, he kind of looks like you, but that's not going to stop me from hurting him. Johannes says as he taps his shields.
Nice pineapple you got there, Johannes.
Thank you, it's fresh.
As you all get ready and prepped and the beginning of the combat music starts to play, Michael is going to hold his hands up, somewhat non-threateningly, and the electricity is going to start fading. I actually, instead, have a proposal.
Quid Pro Roll is a co-production of Alpha Comics and Games with Goblins and Growlers. Our audio production and all original music composition is provided by Gabriel Perez. He can be found at Amethyst Audiomancer on Instagram. The voice of Alita and our DM for the podcast is Alex Smith. She can be found at Alpha Comic Games on Twitter. The voice of Charles Gravy Boat Barnes is Brandon Dingus. He can be found at Way of Brandalore on Twitter. The voice of Eek and Koza are Chapman Adams. He can be found at What Are Birds on Instagram. The voice of Johannes is Alan. He can be found at The Dungeon Meowster on Instagram. And finally, the voice of Solinar is me, Josh Maltby, and I can be found at BlackCloakDM on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening.
Alex, the people need to know what kind of crime name you're getting up to.
It's not good. It's stupid.
Continue.
It's not as good as Burglar the Cheetah, I'm not gonna lie.
Is it better than Ass Masterson?
No, it's not better than Ass Masterson.
Is that your criminal name? Your
Yes.
favorite color is...
His favorite color is ass.
That was my prank call name.
Yeah, your favorite animal is
As
sun?
long-time listeners will remember.
Wait, I'm so all right, we're in a very dramatic, like, standoff scene. We can't get derailed, but put a pin in the conversation about Brandon making prank calls and if Ass Masterson ever worked, like he was Bart Simpson calling Moe's.
The answer was no, it didn't, but people knew and they made him feel better about it.
Hey, sir, I just want to know if an Ass Masterson is there.
No, it was... I was at my friend Pat's house, and we were having pizza on a Friday night and watching Porky's, and we decided to make some prank calls. So we called the Lion's Den, which was a noted gentleman's establishment in the Huntington Barbersville area.
Lion's Den.
And I didn't have any plans going into the call, so I was just sort of deer in the headlights when they picked up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is Ass Masters.
You know what? They probably were like, that's not even the first Ass Masterson to call today.
Oh, and then so we got through that call and hung up on them, and then they star 69'd us and called us back at my friend Pat's house at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's good.
What
That's
did
really
they say?
Legitimately good.
I don't know, because Pat's dad got woken up by the call and answered the phone.
I'm assuming that you then leapt out the window and fled.
Yes, me and Tony and the other guys just got out of there as quickly as we could. And then
Good luck, Pat!
Pat's dad, Dan, said that we were not allowed to all be at the house at the same time anymore.
You know, honestly, what
Fair.
a measured response from Pat's dad.
Yeah.
Way to
Yeah.
go, Pat's dad.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Alex, what's your criminal name?
It's not like you're building it up too much. It's not funny.
Alex.
Pink Duck a l'Orange, the seal.
Pink Duck à l'Orange the Seal.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is really good, actually.
Dude, that criminal is 1, French, 2, successful.